Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first Wednesdays at noon session of the 2022-2023 academic year. Today, I'm really excited to introduce our expert librarian, Jay Bhatt, who's going to be giving the session Analyzing Engineering Failures in Engineering Design. Before we get started, I just want to run through a couple housekeeping items. First, we're recording this session, and I'll send a link to the video later this week so that you can rewatch it at your convenience. We also ask that you stay muted during the session and then hold your questions to the end or add them to chat, and then I'll read them off at the end of the session. So just a couple of things I wanted to mention. We have a bunch of different events planned for the fall term that we're really excited about. We have 5 more of these Wednesdays at noon events scheduled for the fall term, and they're on a whole wide range of topics, from the history of Black student enrollment at Drexel, which is coming up on October 12th, that'll be next week. And we've got sessions on PubMed and using Ovid Medline and different systems to help you with your research, teaching, and coursework. So take a look at our events calendar for all the details there. And then, of course, Open Access Week is coming up at the end of October, and we're really excited to host a couple different events that are focusing on the importance of free and open access to information and research. Again, check our calendar there. And then finally, on December 5th, we're going to kick off the 11th year of our Scholarship event series. And this year is going to focus on climate change and sustainability. So I'll put a link in chat so you can get to the calendar pretty quickly and easily. And we hope to see you at a future event. And with that, I'm done. So I'll turn it over to Jay. Thanks so much, Jay.
Thank you, Stacy, for your nice introduction. My name is Jay Bhatt, and I'm going to be talking to you about analyzing engineering failures and finding background and current research information. And I'm going to start with this quote, why engineering failures is central to understanding design. The concept of failure is central to understanding engineering. For engineering design has at its first and foremost objective the obviation of failure. Thus, the colossal disasters that do occur are ultimately failures of design, but the lessons learned from those disasters can do more to advance engineering knowledge than all the successful machine and structures in the world. And this is the quote from a famous book, To Engineer is Human, The Role of Failure in Successful Design by Henry Petrowski. And this is where I got the quote from, this engineeringfailures.org website. So understanding failures does require a lot of understanding, conceptual understanding, understanding of the fundamentals, understanding of different ways to access information to develop that understanding. During this webinar, we'll highlight some of the core databases which will be very useful as our students develop understanding for the concepts like AccessScience, AccessEngineering, Engineering Case Studies Online, Knovel Academic Collection, and Engineering Village. Out of this, AccessEngineering and Engineering Case Studies Online are 2 new databases that we recently acquired, and Knovel Academic Collection is updated with many new content. So this will be a great way for you all to explore this content. And advanced search techniques in search engines like Google can also help to understand and find concepts. To find background information, it's important that you develop insights into a project and understanding about when and why failures happen. And many of our freshman engineering design students or the senior design students will be working on some innovative projects. They could be interdisciplinary projects. And for that, also, they will need to develop understanding of those subjects that they are not familiar with. And many of these team-based projects are related to about different subjects integrated together. So it's very important that you follow through these resources that I'm going to show you today and develop basic understanding before you just delve into solving problems. Using a variety of resources, including books, research papers, and equality web resources. And this is what we are also going to cover today. So start with our library homepage. When you go to www.library.drexel.edu, you will see this screen like this, which is the homepage of the library, and where you will see research support right here. On the right, under Get Help, you will see all of our library guides linked from there. And this white search box that you see is the DragonSearch, which can be used to search for ebooks, journal articles, and more. So get familiar with our library resources. And today we are going to cover some of these library guides as well. From the main library homepage, you can go to all library guides page, and from where you can see engineering library guides, and one specific to fundamentals of engineering, which is usually I introduce to all our freshman undergraduate students. And then many of our students are also working on collaborative projects that are in biomedical engineering department. And biomedical engineers also have their own design projects as well. So you have biomaterials, cardiovascular engineering, neuroengineering, tissue engineering, ultrasound imaging, and a lot of different types of information that students will be looking for. So these are all library guides that you see on this page. And in that, you will see the whole section for engineering. There's a biomedical engineering section also, entrepreneurship. Also, at some point, students are also interested in learning about business information, is technology transfer and market research, all that happen, which will be a topic of my another presentation later this quarter. And when I go to engineering page, then you will see all major databases are listed like this. And on the left, I can explore different things like engineering resources, patents, standards, and reports. If I go to engineering resources, then you will see finding books, electronic books, finding articles, and electronic reference collection. So I'm under the electronic books tab, and you will see here link to AccessEngineering, engineering case studies online, and Knovel academic collection that we will be focusing today. So if I go to AccessScience link, which is sort of like an online encyclopedia related to science and technology. And this is a fundamental encyclopedia where students can develop really basic understanding of different concepts involved. So I'm exploring the topic of aircraft design using AccessScience, for example. But if you see on the AccessScience page, you are going to also see articles, there are news, there are briefings, there are media. But importantly, they are all different subjects covered in AccessScience are on this portion here. And you will see engineering and materials section here, but it is also has biology and botany and mathematics, health sciences, and so on. So other subject areas also included. And you can just simply start searching on this tab here, or you can simply explore different subject areas. I pull up the information for aircraft design here, and there are a lot of different things within this chapter that you can explore here also. So you can see conceptual design, additional rating, and so on. So you can also explore those different topics within this chapter. It also have a site feature. You can also save. You can email yourself once you create your account. So if I go further details, you can just explore those topics. I want to focus also mainly on AccessEngineering today because this is our core new database that we recently subscribe to, which is from McGraw-Hill publications, and you will see AccessEngineering. And on the left, you can also refine by different results. You can apply different filters, but I'm simply using engineering failures as my keyword, and you will see books like failure analysis of engineering materials. But there are many books that you want to explore. I'm just giving you a sample here, but there are also videos available, there are case studies available, there are books available that you can explore. I'm using now breach failures as an example within engineering, AccessEngineering. Then you will see a whole chapter about past failures of breaches and those vulnerable to failure from this particular source. Bridges and highways, prevention and control of soil erosion. Similarly, there is another book chapter here, breach failure studies, safety engineering, and unexpected material deterioration and failure. And this is a big cause of why the bridges fail. And this is from a book called Bridge and Highway Structure Rehabilitation and Repair. And if you click on that book, you will have access to the entire book. This is just one chapter from this book. I am also looking at this details, looking at this table of contents, breach failure studies, and safety engineering. And there's a whole historical perspective of recent failures. And we briefly mentioned about unexpected deterioration. Then here is how you can get more details about it. There are other subjects that you can explore, like breach span, concrete bridges, railroad bridges, steel bridges, and so on. And there are other recommended content that you can explore. And then you can download this chapter. You will need to be connected to Drexel Libraries by using your Drexel credentials, and you will have access to this. And you can access this from anywhere, wherever you are, but through our library website and using your credentials. Because we have many biomedical engineering students also, I also want to highlight what different types of bioengineering related books are available in AccessScience. So if I browse by subject, then you will see a whole section of bioengineering here. And if I'm browsing here, then I see cardiovascular engineering, then I see stem cell technologies and basics and application, and so on. So these are just a couple of examples of it. And you can start exploring all different subject areas. There are a lot of books on business skills also available, and computer science books. We have many IT students, computer science students. They can also find this collection very, very useful. And stem cell technologies is one of the key books that our tissue engineering students can also use. And this is just an example of the table of contents that you can see here. And Access Engineering also provides number of good tutorials. So go on their website, look at their tutorials that will be very useful. For example, they do provide access to database, which is sort of like exploring material properties. As we have seen before, that materials can play a very important role in design. So you need to understand what those properties are and how those materials can be safe. And using database, you can, and it is a data visualization tool, and you can understand all different types of materials and properties. And there's a video tutorial available on how to use database. So start exploring different things like spreadsheets, graph tables, solution walkthroughs, case studies, and so on. And there are a lot of videos here under step-by-step solutions to real-world engineering problems. More than 900 instructional videos are available here. And I have also compiled a page where you can be able to access all the tutorials, database tutorial, user guide from this particular library guide. So you can explore this on your own. There's a lot more content. I just showed you very little things because I have to show all of this in a short time. But you can explore this on your own, and you can also email me for more consultations later on. And this is the screenshot for the library guide. So it has, you can see how different things you can searching for content in Access Engineering. These are all different tips here, but there's a lot more things available on this page. So explore that, and these are different user guides and video tutorials available. And before I talk about engineering case studies, I was thinking about looking at the top 25 worst engineering disasters on record. And if you look at this particular page, engineering disaster 25 of the worst engineering failures on record from Engineering Clicks, you can see that engineering mistakes have caused the deaths of hundreds and thousands of people in the last 400 years. So while engineering education is becoming, that's why it is so critical that we want to make sure that our engineers understand the concepts. They do a good design project, whether it is in freshman or a senior design. And when they go out, work for companies, they are relying all relevant, authentic information while they are working on their projects, because it's very, very useful. And that is why understanding of engineering standards is also very critical. And that is a topic of another presentation later on. And so these are the 25 worst examples of engineering disasters. And we can then use these examples to go more in depth using our library resources like DragonSearch, that AccessEngineering, Engineering Village, and look into the research and how and explore what led to that disaster. There was scholarly analysis of those. So you can see like Bhopal disaster, or there's a Pennsylvania Johnstown flood in USA, Titanic disaster, and so on. And there's a space shuttle Columbia disaster in 2003. So a lot of those things require some understanding why those disasters happen, so that when you're working on your design project, you're not making the same mistakes, or at least at the college and university level. As a student, you are just trying to understand the concepts. The key thing is that you want to make sure that your concepts are clear so that you can apply when you're designing systems to solve your problem. And you are looking at alternative solutions, then you are analyzing all the alternative solutions, then you're going to pick one most relevant solution that is both cost effective as well as safe. So then we will use Knovel as an example to explore these disasters. And to access Knovel, you just go to this library guide on engineering. I have a link here, and under electronic book section, you can click on Knovel academic collection right here. But it also have a question. There are many other ebooks they are shown there, so explore all of them. And I have shown you AccessEngineering before, and there also you can search for other disasters. But I'm now taking example of Knovel academic collection. So here I am taking the example of Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. Just enter the keyword here, and then you can see a partial screenshot of that shows about challenge and Columbia Space Shuttle disasters, Space Shuttle Columbia disaster from the book, and called Project Management Case Studies, that you can click on it and you can download. But I just want to briefly point out about Knovel. So if you look at the left, you will be able to search for also material properties data. You can create your login account so that you can be able to use my Knovel collection, so that anything you like, you can be able to save the book chapter, or you can also save your search query with your account. There are a lot of online video tutorials are available, and the support center is also available. And I also want to point out that Knovel is also published by Elsewhere, that publishes Scopus Engineering Village. So if you create this Knovel account, the same account can be used for Engineering Village and Scopus and those databases. So this is a sample page for online tutorials. Then you can see you have a whole video tutorial on how to search for material properties. There are interactive equations tutorial, interactive tools, equations solver that you can solve thousands of equations. And so please explore this. Again, I'm just showing very briefly. You want to explore on their own. And if you have any questions, please email me later on. And we can also set up a Zoom session for more detailed consultation. And now I'm going to go to engineering case studies online. This is another new database that we recently acquired. And there are a lot of videos available here, text materials available. The collections of contain almost 250 hours and 50,000 pages of quality documentaries, accident reports, experiments, visualization, and case studies. And these are all very important as you understand the concepts. Why this accident happened, what went wrong, and how you're not going to make that same mistake again when you're working on your projects. And you can start sort of like browse from this section here. Again, I'm searching for Space Shuttle Columbia, and I pulled up several things there, but I just picked up this screenshot from a particular book, and they talk about a risk function, and they are looking at number of variables to understand the risk of foreign objects colliding with a vehicle from the time the rocket engines start until the rocket engines, and so on. There could be many different ways that could have gone wrong. So these are some questions that the engineers also look at and evaluating about the design. And this, so you can see that engineering case studies have different examples. Like this is about Space Shuttle Challenger, Apollo 13, Air France flight disaster, big ceiling collapse disaster, and so on. And each of these disaster is explained in a great in-depth and details, looking at variety of number of accident reports that have been published and since then. So again, this is Space Shuttle Columbia page, and some examples here. You can see there are different types of content type, like accident report and documentaries and many other things. There are text format, 28 of those documents, and you can simply click on that and get more details. And this is the one of the document report, which is almost like 100 pages long, about cavity hitting experiment supporting Shuttle Columbia accident investigation. And you might want to go and explore and go in depth. There's abstract, and each of those issues are explained in detail. This is in a NASA technical report, which is available to engineering case studies online. Okay, so using AccessEngineering, using Knovel, using AccessScience, using eLibrary, ProQuest eLibrary, and other material, you are developing some understanding of the subject by exploring relevant books, chapters, and property data, and so on. But then we want to go and see what can be found in terms of any material that is also published in research papers, which are journal articles, peer-reviewed papers, having abstract, summary, calculations, charts, and findings and conclusions. And at the end, you will have lots of references like that. So a research paper will include title, authors, abstract summary, introduction, materials, method, results, discussion, as I mentioned earlier. An important thing is also what references have been used, what research papers was used, what other sources were cited, and including figures and tables. And to go and access peer-reviewed literature, again, we start our engineering library guide. And this time we are clicking on the tab for finding articles, and you can search in DragonSearch, which is right from the library homepage, that white search box that I showed you earlier. And I have given you some very simple tips here to find peer review papers right here, right? So you can search for your results and then filter using peer review from your result page. So this is how it looks like. So you can see that active filter is peer reviewed. I'm looking at journal articles, and here I'm sorting by the relevance, but I can also sort by the latest papers by the date here. And there are different subject terms, and there are a couple of papers that I highlighted here, and you can click on available online to get to the full papers. Now, we have created a number of good tutorials on DragonSearch, which are available on through our tutorials page, that I would really like you to go and explore these tutorials, that you are able to search DragonSearch more efficiently. In those tutorials, all of this is explained, what these little pins are. These little pins, like a favorite, where any articles that you are adding them will be added to this pin, which is sort of like a folder containing your favorite items, which you can then email them to yourself, or even you can cite. If you click on three little dots, you can see the option for citing the paper. So you can create a citation using IEEE style or APA style, any style that you want. And so here is one article that found when I clicked on that online. After you log on to your Drexel account using your Drexel credentials, if the full text is available, you will be able to see the full paper. So study of the Columbia Space Shuttle response effort, and you will have to go to the whole paper to see what their main findings are. So it's a long article, looks like, It was published in 2014. And there are also relevant papers right when you look at here, more like this. And again, when you go to electronic databases for the same library guide, you will see a link to Engineering Village. There are other databases like American Society of Mechanical Engineering Digital Library, American Society of Civil Engineering Digital Library, ACM, IEEE, that will be used by any students within computer science or College of Computing Informatics, or even other interdisciplinary projects. So this is example of Engineering Village using controlled vocabulary. Important because this is how you can be filter your results. So there are a lot of different things here. You might want to hide these little things, like otherwise you'll see a lot of content under open access document type before you find where the controlled vocabulary is. That will be used to refine your results so that you can find the latest, more relevant papers. So after you search for your topic, then you click on view more within controlled vocabulary, and then you select your more relevant terms like space shuttles, manned space flight, accidents, risk assessment, and click on limit to. So now you are going to pull up more, less number of papers, but more relevant. And you can actually also change from or to and to have even more less number of papers. Idea is to have all these concepts with which I searched for Space Shuttle Columbia also include all these papers like Space Shuttle, manned space flight, and accident risk assessment. And when you want to do all of them combined, you need to change or to and yourself. And you will have even less number of papers. From Find It, you will be able to, if you have access to the full paper, you can be able to download full paper. But I also wanted to give an example of what happens if the article is not available, what you can do. So this particular article tells me that I need to request this article to interlibrary loan. So you just click on this link here, and you can be able to request a paper to interlibrary loan. I also want to highlight a couple of important journals that we have subscription to, like Science and Engineering Ethics and Ethics in Science, Technology, Engineering from IEEE International Symposium on IEEE. So we have full text papers available from these two publications. And I'm searching in DragonSearch under advanced search criteria. I'm only searching for a title that contains the terms Science and Engineering Ethics and within periodicals, within journals. So material type is journals, and these are peer-reviewed articles. And a couple of articles from IEEE I'm highlighting here. And you can see this one is about Columbia accident investigation, and the summary, and you can be able to download that full paper from that proceedings. You will see HTML or PDF link here. And here is another page that explains what ILIAD is, how to request interlibrary loan, and you can explore this from library homepage. You will see a link to borrow from other libraries, and that will take you to this page. And these are all the tutorials. The link is right on the top. Then you can be able to see all Library 101 tutorials using DragonSearch tutorials, connecting to full text. There are many other tutorials that you need to use this arrow to move to see what other tutorials are under getting started. Or if you scroll down, you will see public health, health sciences, business, and engineering type of tutorials as well. And I have created these little slides so that you can access all the tutorials from this link here. This is our libraries YouTube channel, Drexel Libraries. There are all the tutorials, and these are all my engineering related tutorial. If you search on YouTube, you will see all my 10, 12 video tutorials on engineering research that you can access whenever you want. So try exploring them. And I guess this was the last slide. I thought I had added my contact information is right on the first page, and my contact info can be easily found from our library's homepage, library.drexel.edu. Click on research support, and that is where you will see the link to all the research, our experts in different field, and within that, you will see all our other experts as well as myself. So thank you so much. And I'm going to stop my sharing my screen, and please feel free to ask any questions now. Thank you.